Joined by Coach Frye as the Gamecocks get set to head to the SEC Indoor Championships Friday and Saturday in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Coach, it's that time of year. Trophies are on the line. It's the last chance to qualify for NCAA indoors. It's a big week for all of the programs in the SEC. This is really where legacies are made, where legends are made. This is the kind of meet that defines the regular season. What sort of message do you have for your team this week heading into the first postseason meet of the season?
You know, championships are what you run for, and the reason you come to the SEC and to compete in the premier event in the SEC. I mean, football is big, basketball's big, baseball's big, but for its championships won, the SEC track and field has won more NCAA championships than any other sport. It has more Olympians and recognized athletes around the world than any other sport. So that's the kind of thing that the athletes already know about the SEC. So our athletes are in that aura of right now the anxiety, the fears are high, anticipation, but preparation has already been made. There's not a lot we can do at this point other than go and the fruits of your labor get to express itself.
You got several kids on your team that enter maybe as the favorite in their event, certainly one of the favorites, whether that's Aaliyah Abrams in the women's 400, Quincy in the men's side in the 400. Both of your mile relays are up there in the top three in the conference. Armand, I think, enters third in the pole vault, albeit in a very strong field in that event. With your athletes who go in with the expectation of finishing all SEC and hopefully with a gold medal to boot, what do you say to them? What are their last few preparations like to make sure that they do stand at the top of the podium this weekend?
It's always, our slogan, if it's to be, it's up to me. And everything that we do. You know, this year we actually even made our towel. If it's to be, it's up to me. You know, that's a tradition all the way back to all the Olympians. No matter where I go in the world, if I holler, if it's to be, one of our athletes, one of our top, Terrence Jamil, would yell, it's up to me. This week we had Mickey Barber, or if you have Lucinda Demas or Hastings, any of them will say this. So it starts at the SEC. As they get on the line, they understand that can't nobody do this but you. And so our theme right now, you prepare to be able to be that person to take on a responsibility. Self-reliance and taking responsibility is a part of the process. That's why you run those hard miles in the summer. So it's preparation. Why you go to that weight room. It is the process. You're going to have to get in the circle. You got to throw. You got to get on the runway. You got to jump. But if you haven't prepared, then it's tough. It's no matter. There's nothing. It's up to you. You got to find a way to make up for lack of preparation. You know.
I think one of my favorite things about SEC Championship Week is when you have a student athlete who maybe didn't enter as an all SEC level participant, and then they are able to find something within themselves, especially as a junior or a senior, that gets them into that level. I think back to Otis last year, who wasn't an SEC scorer for his first couple years, and then last year broke through in a big way, finishing fifth indoors and third outdoors in the 800 meters. I know you got some upperclassmen candidates to be that person this year, whether it's Milan in the 60 hurdles or Michaela Stanley and Maya Dindy in the 60, or maybe on the men's side, Daryl in the 60. What is it that Otis was able to do last year to have that breakthrough at the conference level that can maybe serve as an example to the upperclassmen you bring in this week that are looking to make their first impact at SECs?
This is so often that this has occurred. You know, this is just if you've been to the SEC, you've seen people that nobody has picked to win or picked to score in all of the conferences. These kids follow very closely who the favorites are, and they know who's the top 8, and they have a confidence that they can do anything. They're prepared to do it, and they don't know. You never know when it's going to come out. And they've been in situations where adrenaline and running for your teammates and running for the university, that they gain that confidence. They know that they got it inside of them. It's can they contain it and wrap it up and and put it in that deliverable package. In life, we expect to be able to be in a situation where adrenaline is something that we count on. We don't know that we can lift a car, and we don't know that we can change a tire. But that adrenaline, that's that moment that you have. All of us have it inside of us to do something extraordinary, and so each one of them have a dependency of how do I call on the extraordinary moment for myself, and so that's what they've been encouraged to do during the season. What is the thing that pushes your hot button to make you do something that's better and different? This is the time you put it on the line.
I wanted to ask you specifically about your women's DMR. That's a group that has done huge things this season. They got 3 times in the NCAA top 75. I think they enter with the number 4 time in the conference. That's a group that hasn't scored for you individually or as a relay in a few years. And yet this season, it seems like they're ready to break through in a big way. What is it about that group and what Coach Alden has done with them that's put them in this position to score big points and maybe if they can really put it all together, maybe crack into that top 16?
Yeah, and this started in cross country. I mean, those kids have been putting it together for a couple of years. I mean, there are a few young ones, but with Mueller in there, who's leading that pack, kind of helps them all say, we've got a senior. She's put hard work in, and we're going to do some special things for our captain. And then there's just that they have started out with that. And our home track put them in a position to where right now, they run really fast. They learn how to win. And it's an old coach one told me, anything you can learn losing, you can learn twice as well winning. And so they found a way each time to win as they run this year. I wouldn't count them out as being a person that gets in the top 5 in the SEC. SEC is tough in every event. You could either be 5th or you can be number 9. 9 doesn't score. And so you can run your very best and be 9. Our kids have channeled themselves into every time having their best performance. And that's what we ask them to do. It's personal best, PRs. Do what you've never done before. That is a win. That's an Olympic performance for you. You can never be better than your best.
Last one for you, Coach. I know anytime we have these postseason events, we always end by talking about goals. So what sort of goals have you set for your program this week? And when we talk next Monday about wrapping it up and putting a bow on it, what sort of things are you looking for to make this a successful weekend for the Gamecocks?
Come away with a champion in an event, have a personal best in a couple events, move our rankings up nationally, finish higher than we finished last year, a top 10 finish in the conference meet on both men and women. There are 14 teams and there are 25 teams in the SEC that are in the top 20 in the country. So we want to maintain being in the top 20 in the country. Our men are 18th, our women are 17th. We want to progress that. And we think we got a good chance in doing it. And our kids understand track and field is an individual sport that adds into a team sport. The relays end up being our team process. Finish that meet in a better position in the mile relay than we went in. And that's going to be a tough challenge because everybody in the country is going to be running this weekend from every conference. So we got to be ready to run fast by mile relay team so we can have an exciting meet. We could be as high as 8th in the conference. Had to have an extraordinary meet to be number 7. 8th, we can have a good meet and be 8th. But you take 10% of what you put on paper and for everybody, 10% of the max of what you're capable of normally is what the percentage you take away from when you put it out on paper. You say you can score 43 points, you take 10% away from that, and that's about where you're going to be. You may be 10% better, but you're not going to be worse than 10% worse, and that's our goals, is to stay within what our numbers say going into the meet.
Awesome. Best of luck, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.